World War II Zombies has got to be the most underappreciated out of all the zombies games. Welcome to the channel, I'm JetGunJosh. If you're looking for a zombies YouTuber who's loud and high energy, well, you're not going to get that here, but what I'm hoping to do is just to have a chill conversation about zombies. Now, I'm not the best at solo commentary, I'll do the best I can, but I am new to this, so this is a little out of my comfort zone, but we'll see how it goes. So let me start off with some context as to why I even wanted to make this video in the first place. Recently, I started playing World War II Zombies, and it's been 5 years since this game came out, and it's been a long time since I've done a deep dive into this game. And I say that I'm doing a deep dive, but really I've only scratched the surface, and that's part of the reason I'm so impressed. I'm not even quite sure where to begin. Well, here's what I'll begin with. I'll begin with the thing that impressed me the most, the thing that really made me want to make this video, and then I'll go ahead and talk about some other things that I think are really good about this game. So just a few days ago, I was playing on the survival map Altar of Blood. I was hitting the mystery box and pack-a-punching the weapons, and so many of those weapons had special pack-a-punch abilities. I'll describe to you some of the weapons that I got to use, and I'll try to get some gameplay of those weapons. So the first thing that I got from the box was an LMG, and it was an LMG with a really slow reload time. So I pack-a-punched the weapon, and I was firing into the zombies, and my magazine ran out of ammo, so of course it automatically reloaded. And when I did the reload, a kind of red orb thing, like a force field, surrounded me while I was doing the slow reload. And I thought that was so cool. And I was like, well, I guess I was thinking, if an LMG's reload has a special ability, there's gotta be other guns in there that do cool things. And I was not wrong. And this is the thing that got me hooked. I mean, think about it. When is the last time that you did a spin of the mystery box and you were excited every single time to see what you might get? I mean, it's probably been a long time. So when that was happening to me and I got to have that childlike experience of being excited to see what is the mystery box going to give me, I mean, that's just not a thing that you get anymore with zombies. Let me give you just two other examples of some really cool weapons. So there is a sniper, and you shoot the bullet into the ground, and then after a few seconds, that bullet will kind of shoot out into a number of other bullets and kill some zombies. And it'll even kill some of the kind of mini-boss or heavy zombies in like one hit. There's also this one weapon, it's an AR, I think, and basically it's a gun with infinite ammo, but there is a catch. So you're not allowed to manually reload this gun. It will only reload once you reach 0 in the magazine. And every time you reload, it'll give you a new magazine, but it will be a random number of bullets. Sometimes you might have a magazine that has 30 or 40 bullets, and at other times you might get a magazine that has 12 bullets. Sometimes you'll actually fire off a lot of shots before having to reload, and sometimes you'll fire off just a handful and then you're having to reload like in 2 seconds. And, you know, it's not exactly the most practical weapon, but isn't that so much better and so much more fun than just making it a kind of normal, boring pack-a-punch weapon? I mean, we already have dozens of normal PaP weapons. Why not do some fun stuff? And that's what Sledgehammer did. Having all of these pack-a-punch weapons with unique abilities, that's a really, really cool thing, but that is not by any means the only thing that they did. Here is the second thing that has really impressed me. So I would say that for the most part, World War II Zombies is casual friendly. It's not a brutally difficult game. There are definitely certain aspects of it that can be difficult, but when you compare it to World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, World War II is not as difficult, in my opinion, at least when compared to those other games. But even though I view this game as casual friendly, there is still so much here for hardcore players. And to me, this is another thing that makes World War II Zombies stand out compared to other games. There seems to be not just pandering to one side or the other. There is a lot to be happy with if you're a casual player, and there's a lot to be happy with if you're a hardcore player. And I think the place to start to really back up my claim here is let's look at the Final Reich. I mean, that is the first map ever to have a casual Easter egg quest and a hardcore Easter egg quest. In fact, the casual Easter egg on the Final Reich, well, that's the first Easter egg that I ever did. And to be honest, the only reason I even tried to do the Easter egg in the first place is because of that notebook in the upper left-hand corner that was saying like, hey, you should do this, or hey, you should do that. And you know, I'm not usually a fan of games kind of holding your hand and telling you everything, but I think that the way that it was done in the Final Reich, it really had a perfect balance to it. You know, it made the game inviting for casual players, but trust me, hardcore players were not forgotten. Not only was there the hardcore Easter egg on the Final Reich, but on every map, there were basically challenges you could do to unlock secret playable characters. And some of these characters are locked behind really difficult challenges. And I think this was a really cool way to show to yourself and to other people that you're a skilled player and that you actually have mastery of this game. You know, in Black Ops 4 and Cold War, you could earn mastery camos, and I wish that World War II had that as well. But the thing is, getting the mastery camo in zombies, it doesn't really show at all that you have mastery of the game. In multiplayer, it's a different story, because you're playing against real people, and you're having to get headshots against real people. But in zombies, you're playing against mindless bots, and it's just not the same, you know? Like, it still is really cool to get a mastery camo after all of those hours and hours of grinding. So it's still a really good reward, and I'm glad that there's a reward like that. But the secret characters in World War II zombies actually show that you have a certain amount of skill and that you've done some pretty difficult things. And while we're on the topic of difficult things, I do want to bring up the Tortured Path. Now, the Tortured Path is the most controversial of any Zombies DLC like ever. A lot of people consider this to be the worst zombies experience that Call of Duty has ever produced, or at least that's how people felt before Vanguard. But about a week ago, I played the Tortured Path for the very first time, and I gotta say, I mean, so many people have talked about this DLC as if it was like the literal worst thing ever, but I've been really enjoying it. And maybe I should have expected that because I don't really like being part of a hive mind. I want to think for myself. And I think a lot of opinions in the zombies community are kind of hive mind opinions. And plus, just because a lot of other people don't like a certain thing, well, that doesn't mean that I won't like it. So I just went into the Tortured Path, giving it a fair shot, not just waiting for it to be so bad. You know what I mean? Like, I just played it, enjoyed it, and found out that it's kind of difficult, and it's also kind of fun. I'll go into more detail in a later video where I focus solely on the Tortured Path, but I would just say that this DLC was experimental, and it's not as bad as everyone says. And that about wraps things up for this video. I appreciate you guys, and expect a good variety of zombies content coming your way. So until then, peace.